Hello everyone. In this video, we're gonna be looking at a few previous year questions which were asked in the NEET exam. We're gonna be looking at the physiology questions. So let's start with the first question. What does Bain-Bridge reflex lead to? Is it bradycardia, increased total peripheral resistance, increased cardiac output, or increased heart rate? So let's try to understand what this reflex is. So it is also called the atrial reflex. So this is the heart, and whenever there is an increased venous return, meaning more blood coming to the atrium is actually gonna get stretched. Now, signals are going to be sent from the atrium to the CNS and back because of the stretch in the atrium. This is going to cause an increase in the heart rate. So, coming to our question, increased heart rate is the answer. Now, functional residual capacity is defined as volume expired after normal inspiration, volume that remains after forceful expiration, expiratory reserve volume plus residual volume, or tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume. Now, this is the chart that you will have to memorize. If I go on and explain every single capacity and volume, it's going to take a lot of time. I'll make a separate video on this. But for now, just focusing on the question, the functional residual capacity was asked, which is here. So this is the addition of the residual volume and the expiratory reserve volume. What is expiratory reserve volume? So it is the volume that you expire forcefully after a normal expiration. So you normally exhale, and after that, how much ever you can exhale, that is the expiratory reserve volume. And what is residual volume? Residual volume is the amount of volume that will remain in your lungs after forceful expiration. So you exhale as hard as you can, but still there is some amount of air that is going to be in your lungs. That is residual volume. So the addition of both of these is the functional residual capacity. Coming back to our question, C is our answer. Now, what role does tubulo-glomerular feedback play? Does it regulate GFR, decrease plasma sodium, decrease tubular secretion, or increase plasma volume? So let's understand what this feedback is exactly. So this is a nephron, and I'll zoom into this part so that we can see it more clearly. So here you can see the afferent arteriole, which brings the blood into the glomerulus, and you have the efferent, which takes the blood away. Finally, you have the distal convoluted tubule. So this feedback is between the distal convoluted tubule and the afferent and efferent arterioles. So the information from the renal tubules, which is the DCT, is signaled to the glomerulus. This regulates the GFR. So coming back to our question, our correct answer is A. Now, space of DC is located in spleen, lymph node, liver, or brain. So this is pretty easy. It is located in the liver. Now, it is not enough to know where it is located. You need to know the additional details, because in the upcoming exams they are not going to ask this same question. They're going to ask a question around this topic. So let's see, what is this exactly? It is a space between a hepatocyte and a sinusoid. The microvilli of the hepatocytes extend into this space, which allows the proteins and other components from the sinusoids to be absorbed in the hepatocytes. So this is a very good diagram where you can see the sinusoids and a hepatocyte. So there is a very small space between them that you can see. This is called the space of DC. Coming back to our question, our answer is C. Now, the boot shape of the heart in tetralogy of Fallot is caused by left atrial enlargement, right atrial enlargement, right ventricular hypertrophy, or biventricular hypertrophy. So this is the thing that they were talking about, and you can see it looks like a boot. Now, what is this tetralogy of Fallot? So it is a condition of a heart which is characterized by four things. Overriding aorta is seen, there is pulmonary valve stenosis, an interventricular septum defect is seen. So you can see that the left and right ventricle here have no wall between them. Finally, hypertrophy of the right ventricle is also seen, and this is our answer. Coming back, our correct answer is option C. Now, liver synthesizes all of the following except albumin, coagulation factors, acute phase proteins, or immunoglobulins. So the correct answer is immunoglobulins. Immunoglobulins are the other name for antibodies, and you must already be knowing that immunoglobulins are not produced by liver, but they are produced by specialized white blood cells called plasma cells, which are a type of B cells. So coming back to the question, our answer is D. Now, which part of the liver stores vitamin A? Is it hepatocytes, ito cells, Kupffer cells, or endothelial cells? So the correct answer is ito cells. So these store vitamin A. Also, the ito cells can change into a myofibroblast-like cell whenever there is any stress like inflammation. These cells then produce collagen. So this is another important question that they can ask. Coming back to the question, our answer is B. Which aquaporin channel does ADH act through? Is it 1, 2, 3 or 4? So I'll put up a direct quote from Garten and Hall which says that ADH acts through aquaporin channel 2. So our correct answer here is B. Now testosterone production is mainly contributed by Leydig cells, Sertoli cells, seminiferous tubules, or epididymis. So let's look at the options one by one. Seminiferous tubules, what are they? They are structures in the testis where spermatogenesis takes place, means the sperms are formed. Sertoli cells are important for supporting and nourishing the sperms which are being made in the seminiferous tubules. Epididymis is a coiled tube and its main function is storage, maturation and transportation of the sperm. Leydig says yes, these are responsible for the production of testosterone. So coming back to our question, our correct answer is A. Now our last question, Golgi tendon organ is responsible for proprioception, pressure, length or tension. So Golgi tendon organ is like a sensory receptor which is located at the junction between a muscle and its tendon. Its main function is to detect the changes in the muscle tension. So this is our answer. It provides feedback to the CNS and in response to the signals from the tendon organ, the CNS can initiate a reflex action. This is actually a protective reflex where the CNS will sense that if the tension in a muscle is a lot, it will send signals to inhibit that muscle. So coming back to our question, our correct answer is D. So that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, so please leave them in the comments or you can message me on Instagram anytime. The link to my Instagram is in the description. Thank you.